Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $20 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience. All around you. And welcome back to another glorious episode of the fastest growing podcast on the planet, the Filmistines. Let's get a round of applause. Nice. I'm joined today, as always, my friend that is here. She did not leave. Lucy.
Hello, everyone. I did not leave.
She did not decide to leave.
I did not decide to leave.
Today we are covering the movie Decision to Leave. That's a funny title, right?
That is a funny title. Is that one of those that has that, almost mistranslation or like a literal translation?
Yeah, the literal translation is resolution to break up.
Ah.
Which is that's not a title. Decision to Leave works better.
Agreed.
Yeah, resolution to break up sounds like someone who maybe doesn't know English as their native language, or like an alien trying to learn human languages or something. Like, you're gonna sound a little off if you say that.
Yeah, or like maybe you're trying to put it on paper. You know how on paper some things just sound even more formal than what they really are. Like
yeah, sure.
You're writing a movie and you're like, well, let's just put it's a resolution to break up. Okay.
So, The Decision to Leave, interesting movie, directed by our favorite Park Chan-wook. He directed our favorite Old Dogs.
Old Dogs? Old Boys? No.
Old Boy, my bad.
Old Boy.
Okay. Old Boy, my bad.
I was like,
he directed Old Boy. What was that, 2006, I think?
I don't know.
You don't gotta look it up. Did you like the movie?
Old Boy, yes.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. I liked that movie a lot. That's one of my favorite movies, actually.
That's up there with funny games for me.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I was recommended Old Boy? I can't even remember if it's plural or single right now, but that was recommended to me when I told someone I hated The Matrix, and they were like, "Well, if you hate The Matrix, you'll love this," and they're right. I guess if you hate The Matrix, check out Park Chan-wook's Old Boys.
Yeah, it's just Old Boy, and it's 2003.
Okay, 2003. And I know there's a Spike Lee remake, which maybe is 2009 or 10 or something, and with Josh Brolin, and it's trash.
Yeah, it's not as good.
Yeah, it's kind of like if your dad died or something, and a clown gets invited to your birthday party, and he wears your dad's skin, and something's off. That's kind of what it's like. That's what Spike Lee's Old Boys is like. It's like, this is not okay. I see what you're doing here. It's maybe a little charming on some level, but this is fucking weird.
But don't
do it. Don't do it again, Spike Lee. Spike Lee's got some great ass movies. That must have not been his doing. I'd be surprised if that was his doing.
Yeah, maybe he was, having a rough year that year. I don't know.
Maybe he was inspired and was like, we can do this. It's kind of like, sort of like maybe David Lynch getting in bed with Dune, although that's fucked up in its own right, because that movie's supposed to be 4 hours long, and they were like, well, we don't put 4-hour movies in the theater, so we gotta chop this in half. And David Lynch was like, well, I disown this now, so have at it, because you're fucking everything up. So, but Decision to Leave, probably the favorite Korean film of 2022. We missed it. We just didn't get around to it. It's a neo-noir romantic mystery film. That's what it says on
Neo-noir.
Wikipedia. Isn't that funny?
What does that even mean?
Modern noir, basically. Because a traditional noir would look kind of gritty and maybe have some dystopian kind of nature to it, or black and white. There's kind of a style that comes with normal noir.
What does neo mean?
New.
Oh, okay. So a new type of dark film?
New type of, well, neo's usually, and noir implies some kind of detective work.
Oh, I thought that just meant kind of some darkness.
I think it literally means black
Yeah,
in
it
French,
means black.
but I have every suspicion that it comes from black and white detective French films. That's what I would imagine where the origin of that is from. I'm not gonna look it up right now. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
So I would imagine kind of like Gallo, I think means yellow in Italian,
Yeah.
and Gallo films are a very specific type of Italian horror film. So yeah, it's just kind of a funny thing that there was a bunch of at one point, and I think a lot of those Gallo films are known for their weird dubbing. I think that's kind of like one of their hallmarks. I don't think it has anything to do with yellow, but correct me if I'm wrong. They might be kind of yellow tint,
like stylistic.
Yeah, like it might be kind of some kind of yellow hue to the coloring, but I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with those Italian films. I just can't watch them because I hate that kind of dubbing. I'd rather read my fucking movie than suffer through shitty dubbing. Are you with me there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I think anime gets a pass just because I don't think the dubbing's usually all that bad in anime. I think it's just pretty fine.
Yeah, except I don't remember where we tried to watch Naruto and the dubbing was just awful. You remember? And then we had to find a new place to watch it because it was just terrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I know Netflix has weird subtitles at the very beginning of the first parts of Naruto.
Yeah, I think
they're kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like
That's right. The subtitles weren't matching the dub.
And if you read the subtitles, they talk like it's probably a little more of a literal translation and not localized.
Mm-hmm.
They talk like they've never fucking talked in their lives. Like it's kind of like resolution to break up. Like that's just not how people talk anywhere who speak English, you know? It's kind of a funny thing.
Yeah.
This movie is a big deal. Not, just because it comes from Park Chan-wook, it's kind of a big deal just because of him. He's kind of a legendary director. I don't know if you know that. He's kind of the Bong Joon-ho cut echelon of Korean directors.
Okay.
He's maybe in general more famous, more revered, with the exception of Parasite. Parasite is a big favorite, but this dude's got like 6 or 7 films that are just booms. They are as good as it gets. So, and this is just another one you can put in there, and I think I saw somewhere that this is going to be a saga. I don't know if this is the first, second, or third. A saga, not connected to one another, just a saga of themes with detective romances.
Okay.
Which is, I love that. I love it when a director has like a vision that they need to express in from different angles, but but unconnected. Kind of like Old Boy is part of the Vengeful saga. Haven't seen the other two. Can't wait to see them. I don't know if I ever will before I die, but there are 2 others that are kind of relevant to Old Boy.
Okay, that's interesting.
So this movie is hugely decorated, winning Best Direction and Best Cinematography and shit from all kinds of awards, except the Academy Awards. I think no Oscars.
I was about to say I didn't.
Wins everywhere else. What do you think of this movie, man?
I like the movie. I like romance films, so that's a plus. And this isn't your typical, guy gets the girl romance and everyone's happy. It's not your comedy romance. So I like that too. That's a very kind of different kind of romance. And it's Korean romance, which is even, better. I also like that it's kind of suspenseful detective film, but it was a bit confusing in a lot of parts that I guess you didn't know until you got to the end, and then everything kind of clicks. But I think everything kind of clicked a little too late for me. You know, it was like the last 10 minutes of the movie where things started clicking, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just watched like 2 hours worth of film and very confused, and now it's clicking. So, okay, I think I like it a little bit better now, but maybe things should have clicked earlier on, or I don't know if that was just a me problem or a everybody problem, but other than that, I thought it was cute. I thought it was a pretty decent romantic movie with a awful ending. Not awful in the sense of it was bad, awful in the sense of, oh no, why did she do that?
Yeah, it was sort of hard to keep up because Bong Joon-ho's movies are one of my touchstones with Korean films, so I'll probably bring him up quite a bit. And he doesn't have a lot of character dialogue in his films.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dialogue happening here, whether it's monological or just exchanges in dialogue, and it's a lot. It's hard to keep up with, especially when you're trying to pay attention to the shots that are happening, because this movie is probably the most insane movie I've ever seen in my life when it comes to cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
It's just off the chain, and it was just hard to keep up with any of it because I was trying to read subtitles.
Yeah, that's also probably something that's hard to keep up with. Maybe international movies will have to require a second watch just because you do have to read the subtitles, and you can't just glance at them with the one word you missed. You have to read the whole thing and still look up at what you're watching. And some of the storyline got confusing for me too, with who killed whom, where, when. They kind of went in the past, but then they did a time jump, and then their names kind of sound similar.
Yeah.
So it was a bit.
It's a lot. It was definitely challenging just to keep up with it in that way, for sure. But I liked everything about this movie other than fucking always playing catch up with trying to figure out what's going on and stuff.
One thing I enjoy about what's the other director's name?
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. So one thing I enjoy about Korean films, especially, well, I guess romantic Korean films, is how different they are from American romance movies. In Korean films, it's more subtle. We don't have to have anybody naked here. Nobody needs to be, making out with their tongue shoved in somebody's throat. You don't need to be holding hands the whole time or have a bed scene, a pillow talk voice scene for things to be romantic.
Yeah. It makes it more dramatic, ironically.
Yeah, I think it does too. And one thing I noticed was that in American films, you often sexualize the women more than you do the men.
Yeah, for sure.
I think in Korean films, you sexualize the men way more than you sexualize the women. And I think
in what way?
The only kind of, I don't want to say sexy scene, but the only kind of shirtless scene, or the only place we saw someone with less clothing or without a shirt or something, was a guy, and he was shirtless. And it was when our main girl, the Chinese girl, Seo Ray, whatever her name is. I don't know how they said it in the film, but that's how I read it in the subtitles.
Yeah.
I think she's smoking inside their bedroom with one of her ex-husbands. I think it's the one that died. And they're inside, she's smoking, and he tells her to go outside, that he doesn't like when she smokes in the house.
Yeah.
And he's shirtless. And that's about the only time you see anybody with no clothes, really. And then we have our
one thing I really liked about this film was how conversations were captured on camera and how much variety we had with that, especially between our main character and his love interest. When they're talking on the phone, we would see him in the room with her and he's not actually there, kind of representing how close he felt to her in those moments. I like that. And then I like that when he when he was extra suspicious of her because of the distance the old lady traveled in quotes with her phone. He saw that number and he's like, oh shit. And then he made the
climb. Yeah.
The climb of, where he thought she might have done it to, kill the first guy in the first half of the movie. And it was spot on. And I liked just how I liked how that was directed and caught on camera for like a detective, sequence. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was really melodramatic because it was like the same exact number when he got up there and everything. It was just like, oh my god, very very anime. I mean, I guess that's just kind of an Asian hallmark in general, especially Korean and Japanese, I should say. That there's just the melodrama is very hard to not think anime, and how it's captured, and then exactly, and also how things are acted and how it's directed. It's hard not to think anime because it's just so extra.
It is so extra.
And it's just a shame. Me saying that, it's a shame that so many live action anime movies suck, because the live action anime movies already exist in different forms. We just need to put, whoever in that role, we just need the better actors and better directors, I guess.
They need to watch some Asian films.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, it's worth noting that a lot of the live action anime movies are American produced.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's just a disconnect there.
I mean, there's even some scenes in this film where she's got a wig and she like randomly puts it on, randomly takes it off. Like, what a freaking anime thing to do, switching your hair like that. You know, that's dramatic. That's extra, which I like that. I like that she did that. And another scene where it was hella dramatic was when he put on that chainmail glove.
That was awesome.
To fight that guy. Oh, who does that?
I know. Is that a thing Korean cops do? Like, is that just something they have in their pocket, ready to whip out? That was awesome.
That was awesome, and I didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, he's just putting on a glove. Okay, maybe he's protecting his hitting hand, and you're like, that's a chainmail glove. I'm like, what? That's crazy. He's about
to grab that knife out of that guy's hand. It's fucking awesome.
And he's fighting this dude with his chainmail glove, and his love interest is just like watching him win this fight. She's watching him from the car. It's like just it's so dramatic
and wonderfully shot. I guess I wonder if that's just a hallmark of Park Chan-wook's films, is the cinematography. Because before this, I think I've only seen one, or I think both of us have only seen one, Old Dogs.
Old Boy.
Old Boy. Old Dogs is a fucking, I think, a Tim Allen movie. I don't know why I keep pulling it out. I'm pretty sure it is. It's like one of his last movies, actually.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure. That's so funny. And that movie's beautifully shot too. Old Boy.
One of my favorite, I guess it's a whole kind of part, because it's not a scene to scene, but when he buys his love interest sushi, and that was the day after his wife had told him that she wanted sushi, and he's like, no, I made this home cooked meal for you, sushi. Like, I don't remember what he said, something along the lines of like who likes sushi, or like, just something offhand that's like, I'm not getting you that.
Yeah. And
then he had just earlier that day told his friend, or his partner, not his friend, but his, partner, you go grab lunch, but don't get anything expensive. And then here he is buying this girl expensive ass sushi. And I don't know, I just thought that was, so it was so clever to put that in, and like how infatuated he is with her already. I mean, it was towards the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And, that was a big clue to us that he likes her. Because, we don't have this American style flirting like we would to immediately be able to see that he likes her. You know, you're kind of suspicious maybe, or you're thinking it, and then he does something like this. You're like, this motherfucker, he likes her.
Yeah, and there's no doubt Korean filmmakers are obsessed with capturing the facial expression of people. And so you have to hone in on what's happening on camera to, an nth plus 1 degree. And it's always kind of an interpretation too, because that's what's one of the great melodrama kind of things that happen in Korean films. And we just I don't feel like we see that at all in American films. Not like that. And I've always noticed that in Korean, like Asian made video games too, especially when they tap into some kind of realism, like a Dragon video games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super anime and melodramatic, but they also they have this weird element of just crazy performance, like just how the voice acting and how the motion capture is it's so freaking cool, because it captures just the smallest twitches and glares, and just it's so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if it's just the way films are shot from over there and over here and stuff, but it just does not feel the same, or how they're colored, maybe how the color grade the color grading, it's so refreshing and fun. But again, I feel like I definitely need to rewatch this film because it was a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And even shortly after they're finished eating, they clean up, and even that scene is basically they're flirting right in front of each other, or it's to show us how connected they are, how in sync they are. And he's cleaning this part while she's cleaning this part, and they just hand each other the whatever they're using to wipe the table, and it just it's like this attention to detail. How many American films are people cleaning up and they're just putting things where they need to go? I mean, it's not like this. It's not dramatic like this.
Yeah, that might also have something to say about like Asian cleanliness too, because I know, I guess I don't know about Korea specifically, but Japan's like super notoriously clean as a city or as a country, and as just a culture of people. They pride themselves on their hygiene and taking care of the shit that's theirs.
Yeah.
And that is nothing. That is nothing like it is in America. It is the exact opposite. We are fucking litter. I should say litter as much as you fucking can. You ever seen the streets out here? It's crazy.
Yeah, and then after they clean up, they go and brush their teeth.
Yeah.
After their meal, he gives her a toothbrush. He's like, "Here you go. The bathroom's over there." And where I used to work in my previous job, there were quite a few people from Venezuela, and that's something they did.
They brushed their teeth after they ate.
After they ate, after lunch break, you'd see the bathroom filled with people that are brushing their teeth, and they're all like handing each other the toothpaste. Like someone's assigned to bring the toothpaste, and they each have their own toothbrush. And it's weird, We don't do that here unless people do, and I'm just not doing that,
That's funny. I mean, I know some people do. I know it's the science of brushing your teeth is so fucking it's just like any other health science. It's just all over the place. But they say to not brush your teeth like 30 minutes to an hour after you eat something or drink something that's acidic, because it like weakens your enamel, and then brushing that can kind of damage that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that.
Who knows?
Yeah. So I'd want to wait anyways, I guess. But hey, I can only, even if it does damage your mouth, I can't help but to appreciate that, because wanting to take care of yourself like that, it's important.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Science behind that, like you said, is just all over the place. Because it would make sense that you would want to remove any kind of leftover food from your mouth. Maybe people should just be like swishing around some mouthwash or something and just spit that out. I don't know. But it's just something that stood out to me.
Yeah, he also, like right before he would eat, or like he was about to do something, he would wipe down the area. I thought that was really neat. It's
Yeah.
like I wish I had enough wipes to fucking wipe down all the areas. I do put a napkin down and stuff, and so I get there somehow. But I I empathize, man. I'm there. That is not surrounded by the culture that can support my needs.
That's true. I mean, even when you eat foods that have a little too much sauce, you're gonna go to the sink and eat over the sink to clean.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, one of my other favorite scenes is where or when he's singing. No, he's not singing it. He's listening to that song, "The Mist" by, I don't know her name, and he's washing dishes at his house, and his wife goes up to him and she's like, "What are you listening to?" And she puts it in her ear and she starts singing to it, and he's just like, "Where did you learn that? How long have you known this song?" It was so funny.
And she's like, everyone in this area knows that song
Yeah.
because that's where this person's from. Idiot.
And it's just it just shows you how, infatuated he is with the other girl.
Yeah. He's mad. He gets mad at his own wife because she's
This
into
is our
something.
song.
Yeah. When in fact it's everybody's song. Yeah.
I love that.
And they don't. It doesn't. And they don't. It's so good because they don't make a big. There's no deal that comes out of it. It's just so subtle. And if you're not paying attention for 5 seconds, you will miss it. It's so good. It's such good character building, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and even when they go on their little date, whatever that was, when they're kind of seeing some sights, I guess. I don't know exactly when it happens, but he tells her one of the things he most loves about her is her posture. And it's so silly. It's silly to us,
I think it's supposed to be funny too, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think it's supposed to be funny.
To kind of show us like his character.
Well, I think Park Chan-wook thinks it's funny. I think he's just making fun.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it is funny.
It's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. And because it's almost not, but it's almost Lynchy in how just
my posture.
how okay she is with it. You
Yeah.
know, like it's just like it's just fucking weird. It's so good. I like that. She just takes it. She appreciates it.
So did you read any reviews on this film? What people think about it?
No, I saw that people are mostly over the moon about it because it's just the new Park Chan-wook film. So it seems to be he seems to just have a kind of a Park Chan-wook bump, you know, where people are just ready to stroke his ego, which is fine to some degree, I guess. But I had a hard time finding anything that people didn't like, other than I did find some people, a little group of people saying that that the movie is over stylized and it prevented them from understanding a rather simple story. And I'd have to agree entirely, but that's kind of one of the really amazing things about it is it's yes at its core a very simple story, but you gotta have some kind of parallel in there, and that's matched. The over stylization is matched with the melodrama, and so it kind of really they help ping pong off each other in that way to tell a simple story, because you can't have all three. I guess you're gonna run into a little bit of a triangle spectrum type thing where you have to pick two extremes and the other one's going to be kind of left behind. Kind of like a girl can't be beautiful, smart,
and mentally stable.
And mentally stable. You can't have all three, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot the other one.
You killing me.
And so I think there's a little bit of that happening here. So it's hard. It is, I think, for someone who is real attracted to stylized cinematography, it's hard to fault it too much for me being confused because of it, but because I'm not Korean. I don't know Korean really at all. I know, the language inspired by Latin and whatnot, and the Asian languages and everything is kind of a combination of the two in some capacity. 500 years ago, I think Korean popped out about. And because it's such a simple story and it's at its core, it only proves to me that it's my fault that I had a hard time keeping up. And that's why I think it definitely requires a second watch. I do think one of the weirder parts of the movie is towards the end, when him and his wife, the detective and his wife, I guess the detective moves to where his wife is at.
Yeah.
He gets a job there, so he doesn't have to go back and forth. And then his mistress basically follows him. It kind of adds into the melodrama and her like not being able to live without him and stuff. And I didn't love that.
Oh, I did.
You liked that?
Yeah.
Why do you like that? Tell me why you like that.
Because I like melodrama. Because I like how dramatic it is.
I do. I mean,
she went in and, poisoned basically this old lady so she would die. So the other guy, or so the son of that lady would kill her husband so she would become a suspect so they could get back together. Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Talk about, and it's not even like love at this point. It's just pure infatuation and craziness. It's almost like a teenager kind of love that you're gonna do whatever, Romeo and Juliet style here. We're gonna murder each other because we can't be without each other. It's insane.
It is insane. And I liked where they reintroduced with each other, when the detective was with his wife and then she was with her new guy, and they were pretending to not really know each other. I guess he was like, she was a suspect, and but she's cool now, and and just the back and forth was so good. But again, that was like such a dialogue heavy spot where it's hard to keep up with the faces and what they were saying. But yeah, I mean, I did like it. I guess I did and I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it? Too much? It's like unbelievable kind of.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of come on, she
too childish.
She's not.
Maybe
she wouldn't do that.
She wouldn't do.
But she would do that. Because she's psycho. Because that proves her psychoness, And then she only proves it at the very last 10 minutes too.
Yeah.
What can you tell me a little about the symbolism between him and her and the mountains and the sea?
And I know she said that Confucius quote about, if you like the mountains, then you are benevolent or something. But if you like the sea, then you're smart or something like that. But I don't know. I didn't really understand it too much. I just know that she identified with the sea more, and she didn't like the mountains, and she was scared of heights too, so that kind of, I guess, tied that there.
Yeah.
But she was so scared of heights, she still climbed up to murder her, ex-husband. That's really all I can tell you with the symbolism here. And then I know at one point he goes, our main guy, he goes and tells his wife that he's like a man of the sea or whatever, and she's like, there's no sea here in Busan or wherever they're at. She's like, you were born here, you've lived here your whole life, like, what are you talking about? You're ridiculous. So I guess that could, play into him being so infatuated by her that he's now a man of the sea too, and wants to do what she wants, or wants to like the same things she does, be the same person she is. But I don't understand the end and how that ties with the sea. I guess she killed herself there, but...
Well, yeah, what did she keep saying?
What did she keep saying? And then I know, I was confused too by the car ride there. And she said, like, you already told me you loved me, which he never did. And then...
Well, she said that it started when it ended.
Yeah, whatever that means. You know what that means?
Yeah, that's just the melodrama of... having, like, realizing it and then all at the same time having your heart broken at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
What's more melodramatic than realizing you're in love with someone and then also being shattered at the same time? There's literally nothing more melodramatic
Oh
than
my
that.
gosh. See, how can you not like it?
And no, I mean that scene's great. That's probably one of the great scenes, really. The great dialogue scenes between right before they like in quotes kind of break up. Him and the detective and the mistress when they're in her apartment, and
Oh yeah.
he like basically tells her to fucking leave. So because he doesn't want to, because he's being pulled in two directions between her, or three, I guess, kind of between her, his wife, and his job, and because she's a mega conflict of interest between his job and his wife, which is just it's awesome.
And he tells her, "You shattered me.
Mm-hmm.
You shattered my whole being." It's like, oh, damn, I'm so sorry. And then he gives her the phone to go hide because he chose her. Then she gives it back and says, "Here you go. I don't want to be the reason you're shattered, you motherfucker. Take your phone. Take your life back." And then she does a fucking dramatic ass thing and buries herself in the sand and has the water wash over her.
She becomes one with the sea.
She becomes one with the sea. Holy fuck.
You know why sand is called sand, right?
Because it's between the sea and land.
Yep.
Yep.
She's part of the sand.
She's part of the sand.
And that's one of the great scenes too, which is the end. I like it a lot. You know, hardly anything has a good ending, right? But this movie, him running around, just longer than you'd expect too, because he he goes one direction and he goes the other, and then he like gets on the phone and it feels like he's kind of gonna wait or give up or something, and then the movie basically ends with him looking.
Yep.
And it's awesome. And I think I could. It's hard to tell, but I think he was standing where she did it, right? Yeah, because of the bamboo stick.
I thought that too. I didn't think about the bamboo stick.
Yeah, the bamboo stick. Yeah, that helped us. I just thought about that. That guarantees that's where she was.
I thought he was going to find her.
No way.
I did.
Not in a Korean film.
Maybe
in an American film, he would have. He would have just known. He'd been like, "Oh shit, there's a bamboo stick here. There's not bamboo within 100 miles of this place. She must be right here."
Well, then he tripped. At one point, he tripped where I thought it was just the spot where she was at, because the sand is still bubbling there, filling up. So I thought he was like, "That's weird. There's a hole here," and I don't know.
Yeah, but he's still a pretty sensible person at the end of the day, and what sensible person is going to think someone fucking buried themselves in the sand?
If he's such a sensible person, he would know that she is so dramatic that she would do that.
No, you can't get to that level.
Yes.
When you're sensible.
Yes, you can. He knows which side of the triangle she's on.
He was in love with crazy.
She's definitely on the beautiful, smart side.
Right in the middle.
She's
the
right
furthest
in the
away
middle.
from stable.
So he knew she buried herself.
Yeah, he found out too late though.
If there's definitely a saga here coming on, I think I'd like to see the other ones. For sure. It's confirmed? They're out?
I think that's how he works. I think he's got.
Oh no, it's 2022. Okay, sorry.
I think that's just how he works. Kind of like Lars von Trier. He's the guy who did that movie we watched, The Antichrist.
Oh, that weird ass movie?
Yeah, that weird ass movie. And he works in threes like that too.
Mm.
And that guy who did. There's several guys out there who do that. Are there any American directors who do that? None are popping in my mind. I think it's pretty rare. I mean, I would expect an American director or two to have done that, but you got to have crazy, foresight to to think about how you're gonna do three or so movies like that are, that deal with the human condition or, are some kind of telling movie. There's, not anyone could write a fucking Marvel series, but
there it is. There it is.
But telling, three different stories of three different types of sadness, no one at Marvel could fucking even dare. You know what I'm saying? That takes a real fucking person who has experienced what it is to be a human being. And Park Chan-wook is one of them. Yeah, I'm not sure if one of them or one or the other two are out yet, but yeah, we definitely will. I want to watch all this guy's stuff because he's one of I mean, the working directors, he's probably among the top 10 most important directors working right now. If he's your favorite director, Park Chan-wook, you know, you're a classy individual.
Oh, he might become my favorite director now.
After those two movies? Or the fact that you're classy?
Yeah, the fact that I'm classy. And these two movies. I mean, this is not, my top favorite movie whatsoever. But it might be my top favorite romance. It might be up there.
What about Nacho Libre? Sort of a romance. Or Norbit?
I have to think about that one. Norbit. No.
I bet you Norbit has never been brought up in a Park Chan-wook podcast or anything.
Hell no. Only here, man. Only here. Like when we brought up white chicks, when we did the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Why'd you bring that up? Oh my god.
It's the same girl. It's the same actress.
The
Emily and one of the girls.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Emily.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Wait, is Snowpiercer a movie or a...
There's a movie and a show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think Bong Joon-ho was a disciple of this guy. I think they are friends.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was... I'm pretty sure they co-directed something, even. Yeah, but Snowpiercer, the movie's of Bong Joon-ho, and this guy might be a producer on some of his works.
Yeah, it says in Wiki that he was a producer in Snowpiercer.
Yeah. I know there's a connection, and I think it goes even deeper than that. I'm not sure where, but it's not a coincidence that they're both great directors, and Bong Joon-ho is probably just, coincidentally allowed to do whatever he wants. He knows this guy, and so this is it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think this guy's most famous work beside Old Boy is probably Lady Vengeance. I think that's, and probably this now. Those are his most famous films, I think. Over here.
I'm sure maybe over there too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's a favorite over there. Because you know how like in Final Fantasy used to be a favorite in Japan, and it's definitely not anymore. It's a favorite here in the States.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Dragon Quest is still a favorite in Japan. It's not a favorite here. Hardly anyone plays Dragon Quest over here. But some things just kind of switch over time.
Yeah, my mom used to watch a lot of Korean soap operas when I was younger. And sometimes I'd watch with her, and just some of the dramatic scenes and those they were just interesting. They were funny. I'm thinking of one. I have no idea what they're called. I'd have to probably ask her. And she might remember. She watched them all the time. But there was one where this guy opened an umbrella and went up next to this girl who was walking in the rain, and all the other girls were watching, and then he just like brought the umbrella up to her, and they brushed shoulders, and all the other girls that were watching were like, oh my god. And I'm like, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I might want to watch some Korean films now. I don't know. I got a little inspired here.
Yeah, I don't know of any other country who handles romance in a more interesting way. There's just hands down.
Yeah.
Korean directors and showrunners have got it figured out to some interesting level. It's cool.
Yeah, because with Hispanic and Spanish love, that's just dramatic on the like passion side, like I'm going to murder you if you don't love me back, kind of like the other end of the extremes, really. Almost the other end of Korean love. I'm gonna sleep with your brother so I can get some payback. I don't know, and then you have his kid, and it all gets all kind of dramatic there.
And in Korea, you go to where they work just to order coffee to meet their eyes one more time. Or you walk, they walk that way from work or something, so you
go that way.
You make a detour when you leave to make sure you go that way just to see if you have a chance of running into them. Just for the chance.
Gosh. I love it.
And in a Mexican soap opera, they'd go to their work and fucking tell them how it is.
Yeah, get on the intercom and start cussing them out, but then you tell them you love them at the same time. Yeah, it's good. They're both good, really.
Yeah, I liked this movie. I'm about to watch it again, though.
Yeah, I definitely have to watch it again to give it a score. I don't think I could give it a score right now.
Oh, I know it's an easy 3.5 at the very least. At the very least. Everything is so good about it. Everything.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it scooched up to a 4 after a second watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's just an excellent... it's just such a masterfully made movie. On every level. Acting, directing, cinematography, lighting, editing. So good. So good. I'm not sure what won the International Oscar Award. I don't remember. Oh, wait, was it All Quiet on the Western Front? It might have been. That's some hard competition. Damn. I think that was the one. I'm not sure, but that either way, that is hard competition. Damn. I was not thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think you're right, though. I think you're right.
Damn, there were... Is it just me, or are there more better movies here in like the last 6 to 12 months?
I don't know.
I feel like there's been a lot of good movies lately.
I'd have to think about that. I'm sure COVID ruined some of that, but that's just a 2-year gap there. 2019, 2018, 2017.
2019, I can think of one good movie.
Which one?
Parasite.
Okay.
I can't think of any from 2018.
Yeah, and Hereditary.
Oh, yeah.
It was 2018.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Take that back.
Yeah, take that back.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to look at a list of movies that have come out every year. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to do. And see which year had the most.
I know that people like
movies.
to bring up those years where a lot of movies come out. People think of 1999 as one of those years.
I think of 2012 for some reason.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah, I don't know about 1999. That's when The Matrix came out.
Ugh.
And several other. I think Gladiator and American Beauty came out that year. And
ugh.
Schindler's List, maybe. And so there were some hits, I guess. Something was going on in that time.
Yeah, but I mean, you start with RRR, Everything Everywhere All at Once, even though it wasn't really my favorite movie. Still a really good movie.
Yeah, still a great movie. Definitely, I mean, such a weird movie in that it's a great movie. It's as good as The Whale, but why all the awards? Like, it's not that good, but all right. I mean, I guess some movie is going to be that movie to win all those awards. And, when you're at the top, it's hard to, it's just kind of a luck of the draw at that point. Who's going to have all these awards. So, I don't know. Yeah, I would have. RRR was definitely my favorite movie last year, though.
Yeah, The Whale. And then all the movies we've watched this year, John Wick, Mario. Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, Evil Dead Rise, yes. Scream was okay even. Wasn't as good as the first one, I guess, but...
You might be onto something here, yeah.
And then Barbie's about to come out. Oppenheimer, I assume those are going to be both very good. Even the Matrix reboot, which came out, I think, late last year, was much better than even the original Matrix.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that.
It was much better than the original. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. It just goes to show you how no one really cares about the Matrix. It's oversung that because no one woke up and was like, you know what, this is way better than the original. I don't know how that didn't happen, but I mean, I think it just goes to show you that no one actually cares about the original, especially when you have something like John Wick coming out these days. Like, it's not that they're all that related other than through Keanu Reeves, but it's just not even. It's Matrix sucks,
Matrix does suck.
Well, thank you for watching this film with me.
No problem. Thank you for watching it with me and letting me pause it so you can explain some things to me.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. Take care. Have a great week, day, life,
lives.
lives.
If you're into reincarnation.
That's true. Have multiple great lives. Till next time.
Take care. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/filmistines. And follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching and keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines signing off.